So you bought a pillow that says natural latex, and now you're reading the label trying to figure out what you got. What is slow pour Dunlop latex, and is it safe to sleep on?
It's the cleanest certified material we put in a pillow, and it happens to feel wonderful. Slow pour Dunlop is the high-end way of making natural latex, and ours is certified to a tier of safety that's set for newborns. So yes, it's safe. It's about as safe as a sleep surface gets.
A tier set for newborns. We'll come back to that because that's a big claim. Start me simpler. Where does latex even come from?
A tree. This is the part people don't expect. Natural latex is sap from the rubber tree, Hevea brasiliensis, grown on plantations in Sri Lanka. A worker scores a shallow line in the bark, and the sap runs out and collects in a cup, the same idea as tapping a maple for syrup. The cut heals, the tree keeps living, and one tree gives sap for decades.
So the raw material is a liquid that drips out of a living tree.
A liquid that drips out of a living tree. And that's the whole starting point. From there it gets whipped, poured into a mold, and baked into a soft, springy foam. The method you use to do that baking is where Dunlop and slow pour come in.
Right, let's get into that because the label said slow pour like it was supposed to mean something to me.
It means a lot, and here's the 30-second version. Dunlop is the name for one way of turning that liquid sap into a foam block. Most of the market runs continuous pour Dunlop, where the latex flows down a long mold and bakes as it travels down the line. At that speed, the heavier rubber sinks toward the bottom while it cures, so the finished slab comes out firmer on one side than the other.
And slow pour fixes that.
Slow pour fixes that. We pour in small batches and let each one cure on its own so the block sets evenly from top to bottom. Then we shred it. Because every piece was cut from a block of even density, every piece in your pillow feels the same. You get a consistent, springy support instead of dense lumps mixed with soft spots.
Is the latex pure? I ask because I've read that some latex is cut with something.
Good instinct, and that's a real line in the market. A lot of mass market latex blends in a synthetic rubber called SBR to cut the cost. Ours is 100% Hevea tree sap, no synthetic blend, pure tree latex, which is part of why it holds its bounce for so long.
How long is so long?
Up to a decade with normal use. Latex resists the slow crumble that wears out softer fills. And because ours is shredded, you can redistribute the pieces or top them up if one area ever settles, which stretches the life out even further.
Okay, the feel. Sell me on what it's like to put my head on this.
It lifts you. The shredded slow pour pieces give a light, buoyant, springy support, so the pillow holds the weight of your head up rather than letting it sink in. You lie down, it gives a little, and then pushes back. And when you turn over, it moves with you. The pillow lifts your head instead of swallowing it. Airy and responsive, that's the feel. And people who like something alive under their neck tend to fall for it fast.
And temperature? A lot of people are nervous that anything called foam runs hot.
This one runs cool, and it's worth knowing why. Because it's the structure doing the work. Latex has an open cell structure with tiny pinholes running all through it, and ours is shredded into small pieces on top of that. So air moves two ways, through the gaps between the pieces and through the holes inside the latex itself. That airflow runs all night, which carries heat away from your head.
So the cooling is the material, not a gel or a coating.
All structure. The cool comes from air moving through the fill, and air doesn't wear out the way a cooling gel or a coating does. It sleeps the same in year 5 as it did on night 1.
Let's get to the certifications, because this is clearly the heart of it for you. Start with the big one.
OEKO-TEX Standard 100 at Class 1. Let me unpack both halves. OEKO-TEX Standard 100 is a lab certification that tests a material against more than 1,000 regulated harmful substances. Formaldehyde, heavy metals, pesticide residue, the volatile compounds that off-gas off cheap foam, all of it. If a material passes, you know what's in it and what isn't.
And Class 1 is a level within that.
Class 1 is the strictest level they have. The classes are set by how much skin contact a product has, and Class 1 is the limit written for products made for babies and toddlers up to 3 years old, because infant skin absorbs the most and is the most vulnerable. Most bedding only has to meet Class 2, which is normal adult skin contact.
So you're telling me this latex is certified to the same chemical safety threshold as something made for a newborn?
The infant grade tier, yes. And here's the part that makes it a real differentiator. Most natural latex pillows on the market sit at Class 2 or Class 3. They're tested, they pass, but at a looser threshold. Ours meets Class 1. Same family of certification, the strictest rung of it.
And there's a second certification?
The Forest Stewardship Council, FSC. Standard 100 looks at the finished foam. FSC looks upstream, at the tree the foam was made from. Our rubber tree plantations in Sri Lanka are FSC certified, which means the tapping happens under independently verified, responsible forestry rules. No clearing old forest, biodiversity protected, the people doing the work treated fairly, and a chain of custody tracked all the way from the plantation to the finished pillow.
Why does that pairing matter? Why not just one or the other?
Because together they cover both ends of the story. Standard 100 Class 1 tells you the finished material that touches your face is clean. FSC tells you the raw material it was made from was grown responsibly. Plenty of brands can show you a chemistry certificate on the foam. Very few can also show you a forestry certificate on the tree. We can do both. And that's why I call this the cleanest certified pillow we make.
Let me push on the safety question directly, since that's what brought people here. Any smell? Any off-gassing?
Here's the honest answer. Slow pour Dunlop, made in small batches, doesn't carry the chemical off-gassing of memory foam. And it doesn't have the strong rubber smell that cheap mass-market latex sometimes does. Most people notice nothing at all. If yours has a faint aroma on the first day, that's natural compounds from the tree sap airing out, and it clears in a day or two.
Is there anyone who really shouldn't sleep on it?
One group, and I want to be clear about it, if you have a latex allergy, you should not use any latex pillow. The proteins that trigger that allergy live in all natural latex, ours included. For those folks, the organic cotton pillow, the kapok pillow, or the wool pillow are the safe picks. For everyone else, this is one of the cleanest things you can put under your head.
And it's adjustable, right? I think people forget that with latex.
It is, and that's a perk of shredding it. A solid latex block comes at one fixed height, and you live with it. Ours ships overstuffed, about 30% more shredded latex than most people end up wanting. There's a zipper on the side. Open it over a bed, scoop out a handful until the loft feels right for your neck, zip it back. 3 minutes. Took out too much, put some back in. Side sleeper who needs height keeps it full. Back sleeper who wants it lower takes some out, and you build the pillow around your own neck. The cover is GOTS certified organic cotton, removable and washable, so the part against your skin stays clean for the life of the pillow.
So who is this pillow for? Give me the real profile.
The person who reads certification databases instead of trusting a label. Someone who wants a cool, light, buoyant feel under their head, and who wants the cleanest safety paperwork they can find, certified to an infant grade tier and grown on responsibly managed land. Hot sleepers do well on it. People who want something that came off a tree rather than out of a chemical plant do well on it.
And it's the firm support crowd you'd send elsewhere.
Right. If your neck wants something that locks into one position and holds it dead still all night, that's the buckwheat pillow. Latex is buoyant and responsive by design, so it has a gentle give. That give is the whole appeal for most people, and the wrong call for a few, and a 60-night trial is how you find out which one you are.
Where do they go to try it?
Circadianrest.com, the tree-tapped latex pillow. 60-night trial, free shipping both ways. Give it about a week, since a responsive pillow feels new for the first few nights. Then decide. If it's not for you, send it back for a full refund.
There it is. Slow pour Dunlop latex. Tapped from a living tree, cured evenly so every piece supports the same. Certified to the tier built for newborns and grown on responsibly managed land. Light, buoyant, cool, and about as clean as a pillow gets. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you on the next one.